a win in the first round. And this is, Yasser, our big game.
Absolutely. Now, for Ray, I was saying at the very start of our show, streaks. When you're playing blitz chess, you get into these streaks, and they carry you forwards. Don't ask me why, but Ray has to stop right now what just happened in round one. He cannot have a repeat of that previous round, because that will be curtains. People will just start targeting him in the blitz as we're underway in a Catalan with bishop b4 check.
Bishop b4, and he comes back. And for many watching, it might be surprising that you are inviting white to develop the bishop to only return. And Yasser, that has quite a deep idea in the Catalan, because white's bishop really belongs on the a1 h8 diagonal. You're kind of misplacing your opponent's bishop on d2. And we very often see that white has to spend a move moving that bishop to vacating not only the square for his own knight to land there in certain positions, but also putting the bishop on a better square.
Exactly. It is confounding that the idea of bishop b4 check followed by the bishop retreat is black is actually making the argument your bishop is actually better placed on c1 than on d2. So I'm misplacing the bishop, because now, as you just said, Tanya, the bishop's in the way. The bishop's in the way of the knight, and maybe the more desirable diagonal would be to control the e5 square from the square b2. I think you're right. I think it's time to play moves like bishop f4, or you can try to say to your opponent, I'm going to make a virtue of the fact that you've put my bishop on d2. I'm going to advance on the queen side with the moves b4 and a4. None of that happened. We did see, in fact, the move bishop f4.
And it is where the bishop belongs once it's landed on d2. You control the e5 square as well. White lines up the rook on d1, centralizing it against the queen, and we see that Firouzja is rushing ahead on the queen side. I'm not very familiar with the ideas of a5, a4.
It's one of those questions you ask yourself, what am I doing with my queen? Just my queen's on d8. It's oppressive. I don't have much going on as black, but if I could put my pawn to a5 and I can follow it up with queen a5, well, I could, I'm more active, and I could tease a little bit the pawn on c4. Guess what? We just saw the move d takes c4, and Ray is saying, I'm willing to trade my c4 pawn for your a4 pawn. Now, that seems like a good deal for black.
It does, right? Because it's a central pawn that you are giving up for a flank pawn on the A line. And not only that, but you open up the A file for black's rook for further counterplay.
Exactly.
And right now, watch out, you can't really take recapture on c4, winning that pawn back, because black has got ideas of b5, forking the queen and the knight, winning material. So the c4 pawn is indirectly defended.
Exactly.
I think Alireza should be pleased with the opening outcome.
I would be
create a battery on the long diagonal. That's bad news for the white's king.
Agreed.
But it's not happening for now. Rook d7, and first black needs to find the square for the bishop. Moves it to f6.
Which, by the way, reinforces f6.
Very important. White's queen is just stuck on c2. White really cannot move it to allow black's pawn from advancing.
It's not something you want to allow at all. Rook e1, by the way, just kind of gets off the diagonal in case the pawn ever does move. You don't want the rook hanging. Rook e1, clock times again, Tanya, as we're getting to the crucial moment.
Absolute seconds, but not that much more time for Alireza. Both players now reaching the 30-second mark, and more importantly, a very complex middle game, a very complex position, a game for all three results, where draw again is the least likely. And I'm with you on this, Yas. It just felt like, did Alireza really need to give up material at that moment?
By the way, 20 seconds and counting for Alireza as he understands he's an exchange down. Yes, he's got a good passer, but he's not.
What next?
Yeah, he doesn't have a pawn either. It's gone 7 seconds, and wow,
He offers the queen.
really used an inordinate amount of clock time to play the queen f5. So
I think he just couldn't find another move in the position. How to improve from here? But a queen trade means there are no potential attacks against the white king. It's immediately snapped up. The only thing white needs to watch out for is c2, and then the bishop coming to b2.
which means you play rook c1 to stop exactly what you just said. Rook c6, I'm blockading this pawn.
I like that. He trades off the defender because the knight from c7 will come.
It's a blunder.
What did he play?
It's a blunder alert.
Oh, bishop b5.
Yes. Oh,
And I thought that was a great idea.
it would have been except for he missed it, and with no time on his clock, Alireza is now.
Oh my God.
But wait a minute. He does have tricks.
But what tricks,
With the a pawn. Careful. C2
and then bishop c3
being checked first. Hang on, bishop c3. Yeah, nothing to do.
It's still tricky. Bishop c3.
You take the pawn, you take on a5, but black's got to be better here, no?
No, not better. Winning. 2 bishops versus the rook and 4 pawns. But it's about the clock now.
4
5
seconds.
Both players are playing with their increment. Oh, but what an... Oh, there goes the
This
f2
is the
pawn.
f2 pawn, and he resigns.
2 horrible blunders. Oh, Peter, let's jump to